Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about the organs of the abdominal cavity. We will first begin with the greater omentum. The greater omentum is a large fatty membrane that cushions and also insulates all of the abdominal organs. For example, like the stomach, the intestines, the liver, also the large intestine. This greater omentum is a sort of apron that falls on top of the abdominal organs. It literally looks like an apron, as you can see here with the cat. I'm holding the greater omentum up so you could see the small intestines. It's also yellow, if you could see on the cat, because of all of the fatty tissue. This fatty tissue is also important because not only does it physically protect the abdominal organs, but also protects them against like infections, since there's a lot of lymph nodes around the area. And then on the right side would be the view of the greater omentum on a human. You could see that it covers all of the abdominal area. The next organ is going to be the spleen. It's another organ, abdominal organ that is very important because it filters and also recycles old red blood cells. The function is very important because if we were to have damaged red blood cells circulating the body, it could cause a lot of diseases. It's also important because of the hemoglobin in the red blood cells that every single organ and muscle needs. So its job is very important. This organ is also very important to the immune system because it produces white blood cells, also called lymphocytes, that are important to the system because of it fights infections. For the human model, the pancreas would be right here, right in the middle of the yellow, right here. For the cat model, it's going to also be right here, more to the left side. It's also connected to the spleen, so for the cat would be around here. It's also the next organ of the abdominal cavity would be the pancreas. The pancreas also produces some enzymes that help break down proteins, carbs, and fats for the small intestine. The pancreas is going to be right here, connected to the spleen. And then since the enzymes through the pancreatic duct all the way right here. For the cat model, you could see it right here, would be right under the greater omentum, which we are holding in this area. The next organ would be the gallbladder. The gallbladder is important because it stores bile, which is very important when digesting fats. Its job is that when it produces the bile, it will release it into the small intestine or the duodenum through the pancreatic duct right here. It would just release the bile right here. It's gonna be right here, and it would release the bile through the common bile duct, which would release the bile on the duodenum in this area. For the cat, it was a little hard to see it, but if you could just locate the where the pancreas was, right above it, and the cat would be peeking out right here. The next organ of the abdominal cavity would be the colon, or the large intestine. You could see it on the cat marked right here. The colon is very important in digestion as well, because it absorbs water and electrolytes from that food running through. There's a lot of bacteria also in the colon, which helps the undigested food. And a lot of the bacteria in the colon also help us by producing vitamin B12 and vitamin K. For the human model, you could see that the colon would be the ascending colon right here, the transverse, which would just run across the abdominal cavity, and then the descending, which would be around here. The next organ would be the small intestine. In the cat model, it is highlighted here in green. We had to lift the greater omentum up to be able to see the small intestine, since it covers and protects it. For the human model, it's going to be right here, right under the colon, all of this area. The small intestine is a very important organ in the digestive system as well, because it is where most of the digestion and nutrition absorption occurs. There's a lot of enzymes in the small intestine, which helps break down a lot of the food that is being digested. There's a lot of also villi and microvilli, which helps absorb the most nutrition possible. The next organ also would be the stomach. The stomach on the cat was right under the liver, right in this area. On the cat, it seems very flat, which might mean that before it died, it didn't really eat, or it didn't have anything in the stomach. For the human model, it's right under the liver, right here. The stomach is also important in the digestive system, because it stores a lot of the food that just went down the esophagus. It's considered to also break down food mechanically and chemically from all of the acid and enzymes that are in the stomach. And then since it stores the food, it will gradually release it into the small intestine when it's ready. For the stomach, I also wanted to mention the different parts or sections. This top section right here, right where the cardiac sphincter is called the fundus. This is the most superior section of the stomach. Right in the middle, right here, this would just be considered the body of the stomach. It is where more of the surface area of storage is. Where it receives the food from the esophagus is called the cardia. It would be around here, since the esophagus will come down like this. There's a sphincter in that area to control the amount of food coming through and also preventing any backflow of any gas of any acids. Okay, the next organ would be the liver. The liver is important because it produces bile, and also detoxifies any harmful substances, also processes nutrients that are absorbed in the digestive tract. The liver for the cat is this brown section right here. Usually it is covered by the greater omentum, but was cut right here, so you could freely see the liver. If not, the greater omentum would be covering it fully. For the human model is going to be this red large section right here. You could see right here on the human model, there's going to be 2 lobes of the liver. Also, you could see that right under the liver, this green section right here, that's where the gallbladder would be hiding. So for the cat model, we would lift the liver up, and then right under, we would be able to see the gallbladder. The liver also has a lot of blood vessels going through it, as well as ducts. For example, right on this area, this lobe, more on the right section, would have the right hepatic duct going through, as well as a hepatic portal vein. And then for the left side or the left lobe, there would be the left hepatic duct. Both of these ducts on the lobes would be connecting to the would connect, also known as the common hepatic duct. There's also the hepatic arteries, which would be usually running through right here. The next and last organ of the abdominal cavity would be the mesenteries. The mesentery is the tissue that folds and attaches to the intestines. By attaching to the intestines, it provides them with stability, support, and doesn't let them get tangled. You could see on the cat model, we had to lift the small intestine right here and you could see that all of this area is the mesentery. The mesentery also has a lot of blood vessels right here, lymphatic vessels that supply the small intestines with like nutrients, blood supply. If you were to lift all of these, the small intestine, you could see that all these vessels and lymphatic vessels run through them all. For the human model, you could see this yellow section that folds. That would be the mesentery.